All right, welcome back everybody. My name is Ramteen Dakota, and my goal is to help you write a herbal formula in under 5 minutes. So if this interests you, I encourage you to subscribe and join, as it goes a long way to support our channel, and it will make sure that you don't miss out. So today we will be discussing dizziness and vertigo. This is something I see a lot in the clinic. I like to break this up into two sections, the excess patterns and the deficiency patterns. And today we'll be discussing the excess pattern. Now on the site, you can click Add Formula and go to the Disease tab where you will see the drop-down menu. When you picked dizziness and vertigo, the site will then automatically populate all the different patterns. Let's start and let's discuss some of these patterns. The first pattern would be wind phlegm. This would present with a headache and a stifling sensation in the chest. There'll be nausea, vomiting, and copious sputum. Now the tongue coat is going to be greasy and the pulse is going to be slippery. Now this formula that we would use, and the site will help you pick it, is Bansha Baiju Tianma Tong. The second pattern I'd like to discuss is gallbladder and stomach disharmony with phlegm heat. Same as the above, except, now here's a differential diagnosis. We have signs of stomach, gallbladder, psycho-emotional issues. So what does that entail? My patients come in with anxiety, insomnia, and one of the really good differentiations between the previous patterns is you get a bitter taste in the mouth. Now the pulse is going to be rapid and slippery, and the tongue coat is going to be greasy and it's going to have a little bit of yellow tinge to it. The third pattern will be heat in the liver gallbladder channels. Now where do these channels go? We know they go to the eye and to the ear and also to the genitalia. So here we have channel related issues such as sore eyes, headache, earache, hypochondriac pain. And the psycho-emotional symptoms associated with this is irritability and a short temper. And this is due to the stomach gallbladder heat. Now it's very similar to the previous pattern, except the pulse is a lot more forceful and it's gonna have a wiry edge to it. Now this is gonna be a Longan Shiegan tongue presentation, which we'll discuss later. Lastly, the liver yang ascending with internal wind. Now this is very similar to heat in the liver gallbladder channel, except we have more yang rising right to the head. So symptoms such as tinnitus, blurred vision, sensation of heat rushing to your head, anger, insomnia, and again, this is a Tianma Gotengian presentation. Today, we'll be focusing on treating the liver yang rising aspect with liver internal wind. Now, once you've picked a pattern from our drop-down menu, which in this case would be the liver yang rising, the site will automatically generate that formula for you. And it will populate that formula, provide dosages, where at this point you can go on and modify that. So the ingredients will also be included once we generate that. And here's a cool quote. When yang ascends uncontrolled, it eventually loses its connection with the yin. Now what does this do? It causes internal wind. That was very new to me and I think it's pretty profound. So what's the game plan? How do we treat this? Step number 1, calm the liver. What herb do we use? Shizhuaiming. 2, extinguish wind using Tianma and Goteng. 3, we clear heat, Jurza and Huangqin. 4, we invigorate the blood. Now why is that? This is to prevent from the yang rising to the head. And we use Chuan Nushi and Yimusao. That's why it's in that formula. And number 5, tonify liver and kidney. I always like to tonify, so Duzhong and Sang Jisheng are great herbs from that. And most importantly, we're going to calm and settle the will. So for that insomnia and restlessness. And what are we going to use? Ye Jiao Tang and Fu Shen. Now it's time for Herb of the Week. Ding, ding, ding. This is one of my favorite herbs. It's Mei Gui Hua, and it moves qi and alleviates constraints. It relieves constraint. Now, this is to help treat the stifling sensation in the chest, belching, poor appetite, and pain and distension in the flanks and epigastrum. So it also harmonizes blood and disperses stagnation. It's also known to treat irregular menses, menstrual pain due to blood stasis, and premenstrual breast tenderness. But in this case, I like to modify our formula using Mei Gui Hua because it helps move that constraint. So I use this herb to modify this formula because it relieves qi and blood stagnation. I mostly use it for liver qi stagnation compared to chai hu and like bai shao because it's very mild. The other herbs clinically I've used in the past, when you move qi stagnation and you break it up too suddenly, patients actually get some yang rising signs. They get irritated because it's moving too fast. So very beautiful, and it's rose, very beautiful and very light and mild herb to use to modify. Also, I love to use it in tea. If you ever have a cup of green tea, put some Mei Gui Hua in there and it's absolutely delicious. Now, please remember that all the diseases, patterns, formulas, dosages, and modifications are available to you when you subscribe to My Herbal Pharmacy. That's a service that we provide. Our site will help you diagnose and write custom formulas, like I said, in under 5 minutes. And our pharmacy will create those formulas and ship them the same day. As always, thank you so much for watching our video. We would love to hear from you, so please leave your comments and your questions below, and we'll be very happy to have some correspondence. Have a wonderful day.